fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and today is kind of a mixture of videos. So I wanted to do a kind of 2023 in review to show you all of the finishes that I managed in 2023. But I also need to update you on how I did in December on all my goals for 2023, and then I want to go over how I did for the whole year. A few surprises, but so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a video montage running, and you'll be seeing all of my finishes, at least all of the ones that I could find a photo of. And then as that runs, I will be talking. I'm just going to jump in. You can see here, these are some of the paint gem minis that I finished. I finished 4 different paint gem sets. You'll see them as I go through. Yeah, I'm just going to start. So here goes the montage. And as all of those pictures run through, at the very end, I'm going to talk about some things that were my favorites and my not so favorites. So stay tuned till the end. So how did I do in the month of December? In the month of December, for my first goal, which was my diamond painting hours, as always, I only finished 2 things, but they were some big things. So I got a total of 66 hours and 43 minutes in for my diamond painting hours in December. So I'm good there. Now, normally I would tell you where that puts me for 2023. I'm going to wait and do that at the end. So we're just going to go through December and then I'll go through the whole year. Finishes was my number 2 goal. I wanted to do 50 finishes. I added 2 to that. Like I said, I finished 2 things in December. So I'm going to add 2 to that total. My artist series was the list that I started out with at the beginning of the year of 20 kits, basically kits from my stash that I wanted to try and get done in 2023. I did about half of them, I think. So my Elizabeth was on the list. I did my Wolf Shaman, Jules and Vern, Gamer Girl, the Gnome Trio, my Fiona Dragon, my Patience the Mermaid from Dreamer Designs, my Penguin Trio from Dreamer Designs. All of those were on my original list. So I did all of those. All of the other ones I ended up substituting. Oh, and my Moonbeam, I did that one. And then some of the other ones I just didn't get to, or I ended up substituting other things. So I did finish 20 kits, all by artists that I had never done before. So I'm thrilled about that. I wasn't sure I was going to make that one because so many of the kits that I had picked were big. And so I was afraid that I just wasn't going to have enough time to get all of those done. So I finished 1 more of those in December. Then the one that always gives me a stomach ache, my budget. How did I do with my budget? So November was kind of the big month with Black Friday and Cyber Monday. I spent almost $700 in November, which I'm kind of regretting now. Had I known that the job situation with my husband and everything would have been what it was, I probably wouldn't have spent that much, but it is what it is. November was the big month. I still spent money in December. I spent $101.30 in December. Of that $101.30, I bought 1 kit, and I actually used points to buy the kit. So basically I ended up paying for shipping and a little extra. So $20.84 of that was for a kit. And then the other $80.46 was for tools. So trays, pens, whatever else I happened to buy, storage, all of that I group under tools. So $101.30 spent in December. My 5th goal was to reduce my stash. So basically I kept track each month of where I was at, how many I had done versus how many I'd added to it. So by the time I went through and added up, some months, I think I was all the way up to -9 to my stash. And then November hit and I bought like 8 or 10 kits. So I'm finishing out the year, I think, at pretty much where I started, because I told my husband, you know, in thinking of the fact that I wanted to reduce my stash, I actually kind of flipped that towards the end of the year as our move gets closer. So the fact that I stayed at 0, I think is pretty good. So at 0 for the month of December, I added one because I bought that one kit, but I also finished one, so I'm at 0. No, for December. And then random acts of kindness. Again, in December, I didn't send out any random acts of kindness. November, I was busy with DP for vets, so I was sending out prizes for that. December, I just don't typically send out a whole bunch of stuff in December because everybody raises their shipping rates in December. So I figure I'll just wait until the prices go back down when January rolls around and their holiday surcharges are no longer being charged. So nothing in the month of December, but hopefully I will get back to it this month. Okay, so then what did I do for all of 2023? So my diamond painting hours, my goal was 1,000 hours, and I'm happy to report with my 6643 that I did in December, that puts my 2023 total at 1,022 hours and 49 minutes, which means I can put a big check mark by that goal. I made my 1,000 hours and then some for diamond painting. So I have added that to my little spreadsheet. I'm keeping a spreadsheet to see when I get to 10,000 hours. In my 3 years of diamond painting, I think I'm down to somewhere roughly around 7,000 hours that I have left to reach the 10,000 hours of mastery. So that goal is finished. Then I wanted to finish 50 items. With my 2 finishes in December, I already had 62. That bumps me up to 64, which means I more than finished my 50 items for 2023. So another check mark for that goal. So I'm pretty happy with that one. Several of them were kind of small items. As you can see, there were several 30 by 30 special partials in there. There were some smaller off the canvas items. I am only counting all of my Paint Gem minis as one item. So even though like the museum set had 10 canvases, I think all the other ones had 16 each. So even though there were 16 little canvases, I'm only counting them as one item. So I figure it all evens out, right? So check mark for 50 finishes. And then my artist series, like I said, I gave myself that list of 20. While I didn't do everything on the list, I did finish 20 kits by artists that were new to me, which was the goal of that series. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. Even though I didn't get as much done out of my stash as I wanted, I think I'm okay with that. So I got the 20 finished and I'm happy with that. I had a lot of fun doing all of those 20. So I'm stoked that I got all 20 of those done. The fourth goal, my budget for the year was $2,400, roughly $200 a month. Some months I spent that, some months I spent nothing, some months like November I spent a lot. Like I said, I spent $101.30 in December, but if I total everything up, that means that I spent $2275.96, which means I came in $124.04 under budget. Now, I could have spent the rest of that budget, but by the time I got around to spending that, we had found out about my husband's employment situation, so I kind of put the kibosh on buying anything else, or at least spending large amounts of money until he's back working again. So under budget for 2023, so I'm feeling good about that. Then my last goal was to, like I said, reduce my stash. Now, my goal actually changed for this, but I still think I did okay. So like I said, if I go through and I marked through, okay, for January, how many did I do? Was I negative or positive? Because many months I didn't buy any kits, so I was just working on things. And I think at one point in July or August, I was down 9 in my total stash. But then of course, November with Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales, and I bought like 8 kits, 10 kits, something like that. So if my calculations are correct, and they may not be, but I'm going with what I had on my paper, I am down 1 in my total stash for 2023. Which, if I think about it, makes sense because I did include things in my stash that are PR kits. I've done some sneak peeks for Oraloa. I've done some sneak peeks for Bella Art. So kits like that get included. The budget company PR stuff I do not include in my stash because most of that gets mailed out in random acts of kindness, so I don't keep most of that anyway. If I'm going to keep it for me to actually work it, then I will count it in my stash. But I think, according to my calculations for 2023 for the year, like I said, I'm down 1. So even though I bought kits, I actually finished a lot of things. So I'm at -1. So I'm going to call that a win, even though I didn't reduce my stash by as much as I was hoping. At the beginning of the year, I was really hoping to make a dent in it. But then, like I said, once I hit October, November, I knew I was going to be buying stuff for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and also after finally doing some research about prices and import fees and things like that, I decided to take everyone's advice and stock up on what I can while I'm here in the States. And I can buy from a lot of small mom and pop type businesses on Etsy or whatever that are here in the States when I don't have to pay big shipping fees like I might have to once we're in Canada. But I think there are just places that it won't make a lot of sense for me to buy from because shipping will just make it prohibitively expensive. The easiest route is just for me to stock up while I'm doing it. So if you've seen my 2024 goals video, you'll know that one of my goals for 2024 is that I'm trying to increase my stash. And I think I'm doing a pretty good job so far. So that's where I am for 2023. That is my finishes. That is my goals. And what do I want to do at the end here? I wanted to share with you, I kind of made up some little awards for myself just to see kind of what did I think of 2023. So I've got a couple of favorites. I've got my favorite partial, my favorite round, my favorite square, best of show, and then my least favorite kit. So I think I'm just going to get the bad news out of the way, and I'm going to start with my least favorite kit. And my least favorite kit was my Heaven and Earth design. There were some things that I liked about it. I do like the image, but it was very confetti heavy. Not that I mind confetti, but it was just very confetti heavy, and the symbols were very dark. So it was very hard to work on, even with a light pad. And I had issues with the drills and a lot of gapping and things like that, and it just was not the experience I was hoping for. So the award for least favorite kit of the year for me for 2023 is my Heaven and Earth design. My favorite partial of 2023, and I just absolutely love this kit. It's so bright and colorful. I love the background, even though it's a partial. The drills were just so nice. Yeah, just one of my favorites of the year, and that is the seahorses from Diamond Dots. Like I said, it's so pretty and so colorful. I just love the color scheme of it. This is definitely one that at some point I'm going to get framed. I don't know when, but at some point. Once I go through all of my completed kits and decide which ones I'm keeping or giving away, that will be a definite keep, and I'm going to frame that one. So that was my favorite partial. And then I thought I would talk about my favorite round and my favorite square, and then I have a best of show. So my favorite round, hands down, was my Moonbeam from Craftably. I really love Craftably's quality. I have done several kits of theirs. I've never been disappointed. I just absolutely love this kit. I love the color scheme. I think the ABs that they added really added a lot to the kit. I love the roses of it, the teals, the pinks, the reds, the owl. Her skin tone was nice. I just think it was really, really well done, and it's one of my favorite kits. Really probably my favorite kit from Craftably, but definitely my favorite round of 2023. So that's Moonbeam. And then my favorite square, which you all maybe could guess, is a kit that I finished out the year with, and that is my Flower Crazy from Diamond Art Club. I absolutely fell in love with this image when I first saw it, and I could not wait to get started on that one. She was my final kit for my artist series. I love the sunflowers, I love the ABs, and I think her skin is just so well rendered. And her face was one of my favorite things about the image, just the big glasses, her just gorgeous face, the gorgeous skin tone. And I think they did a really, really good job of translating that into a diamond painting. So that was my favorite square of 2023. And for best of show, my absolute favorite kit of 2023 is also Flower Crazy. Diamond Art Club is always really good quality, but this image I just can't get over how pretty she is and how nice her skin tone looks. And I was afraid that it wasn't going to turn out like I hoped, but it absolutely did. Exceeded all my expectations. Love how it turned out. And she is definitely going to be framed as well. In fact, I've already measured her and gotten the measurements for what I need to do so that I can order a special frame for her because she's gorgeous. I told my husband we moved to Canada, I think I'm just going to decorate everything in our house with diamond paintings. Forget hanging up pictures of family and other things. We'll just decorate everything with diamond paintings. So, best of show 2023 and my favorite kit, my favorite square kit, Flower Crazy. I think that's it for me today, guys. Thanks so much for sticking around till the end of the video. Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.